So here's a complicated bunch of stuff. All these buildings in your turf in Lords Mobile, what do you need to know? Well, let's talk about the resource buildings first. I've been showing a lot of my videos on a farm that at least on an account that I initially was going to turn into a food farm. So it wasn't going to have troops because troops eat. It was just going to make resources, and it was only going to make food. So you need to have a low troops account in order to do that. And that was the initial plan. And then I lost interest. It was much too much fun, busy playing the account. I made a lot of troops, and I've still got all the farms. That's not ideal. Your troops do not need to eat. You've got zero food in your turf, that's great. Your troops are not going to die. So that is one of the first barriers that a lot of people come up against. As soon as they start making a few troops and they start getting food negative, as in their troops are eating more food than they can make, they start building food farms and building food farms. You don't need to do that. So that's the important thing to know. You only need one food farm in order to upgrade your wall and your castle and all that stuff. You do not need more than that. I do have more, and there's reason for that. This one is for my dailies. I can just upgrade that, and it will be free. Let's just do it. No, just upgrade. And it's completely free, and I can click that, and I will get 10 points on my daily activity points every time I do it. And for me, this is going to go on until I reach Castle 8, and then it's going to start taking time. So when this gets to Castle 8, I will then immediately demolish it and start over. So that is the only reason for that food farm. The other food farm over here is for spamming help. So, you know, if somebody wants to click help and there's nobody setting enough helps of these, then you would just go and upgrade that and then hit help, wait for your buddies to then click help themselves. Oh, my game's hanging, just what I need. Bad internet. Yeah, I don't edit these things because I don't make money out of them. Okay, there we go. Oh no, it's still not there. Okay, but in any case, I would then hit help. My buddy can it's you know, every time I try and do an exchange of data, there we go. My buddy can then click help. When he's clicked help, I can cancel, and then I can do that as ever many times as he needs some kind of help click. And help clicks people need in order to get coins. They might need them for quests or in order to get troops out of sanctuary or whatever. So if somebody asks for spam help, that's what they want. They want you to set fake builds. You're going to build and cancel, build and cancel. You're not going to ever let that farm get any bigger. I don't really use it very much anymore. I might replace that with a resource building. As you can see, the rest of my buildings are a mix of resource buildings, wood, stone, or some people will tell you to hyper, which means having just one type of resource building in this space and then one of each building over here. I don't really agree with hypering on a main account. If it's your secondary account, by all means, have an ore hyper. Ore tends to be the most rare. Have a food hyper if you want to have an account without troops. Have wood or a stone hyper if you really feel that way. But I don't really like hypering on a main account, so I would normally for a main account say just go for a mixture of things across here. This part of your turf over here is for barracks, infirmaries and manors. Infirmaries, and whenever you want to know about a building, just click the eye. You see here it goes from level 1 to 25, and with every level your infirmary capacity grows. So at level 25 your infirmary is giving you 40%, at least 40,000 troops that can go to hospital rather than just go red and die, and 5% army max HP. Now what happens if your infirmaries overflow? You will no longer get wounded troops, you will only get dead troops, and it's a lot easier to heal troops than it is to rebuild troops. So I normally like to have infirmaries, quite a few of them, just because I don't trust myself. A lot of people will go between manors and infirmaries depending on whether they're training troops or whether they are fighting. When you're fighting, obviously you want hospital space. And the reason why they then build manors is because manors is for troops training. Now, I like to just be careful, and I just kind of balance these out myself. But as you can see, you get 20% at level 25, troops training speed. There it is at the top. And that is far more important than the gold that this building produces. That 20%, and you can think of it for every manor that you have, you're getting 20% extra training speed. That's a lot of training speed if you have a lot of manors. So I just like to kind of divide between the two. That way I can fight and train troops. Invariably, I'm replacing occasional troops. Some people will change between infirmaries and manors depending on whether they're fighting or whether they're farming and growing their troops. I just like to go for a balance. You know, accidents happen, and whatever that infirmary catches is troops that don't die. If you're defending a castle, your infirmary will fill first before you get any dead troops. If you're attacking, well, you're always going to lose some troops. Even in a very, very straightforward attack, you can expect to lose about 10% of your troops, more if it's an unsuccessful attack. But at least you've still got then infirmary space that can help for the wounded troops. If you don't have infirmary space, your troops that would otherwise have been wounded will die, and you will have to replace them. So that's those buildings. Barracks, I would only go for one. It doesn't increase the speed of your troops training. That's your barracks over there, that level 25 building with the crossed axes in front going very cute. That does not increase your speed to train troops. It only increases the number of troops that you can train at a time. That's why I have one, because I can reset training and keep that building productive quite easily. I don't see the point of having two. At one point I did, because I was busy training tier 2s, and I was training them. I had a lot of 24-hour speeds, so I wanted my tier 2 troops training to take 24 hours, and in order for that to happen, I needed to train more of them at once, and I needed a second barracks. Then I demolished it and replaced it with a manor after that. Okay, so that's that area of your turf. Your castle's your castle. Main thing to see there is kind of how much resources have you got stockpiled. It's pretty interesting to see. And then, of course, your castle stars, which is like a slow business. But yeah, that's all there at your castle. Your castle wall. This is quite important. This is for your defense. What is stationed on your wall? So in other words, you're going to have heroes and familiars on your wall to protect your turf if you're attacked. And I do actually think I could improve on this. I should probably put Rose Knight in here instead of Bunny. In fact, I'm going to do it now, because Rose Knight is just such a nice general one. And you know, when you're getting your turf attacked, all your troops are getting attacked at once. So Watch is very general. Rose is a good general one. Bombing Goblin's a good general one. And then I've got an infantry hero and a ranged hero there. So that's actually quite nice. I'm going to keep that. And then these are the familiars, the battle familiars that are stationed on your wall. Each of them gives various type of skill, which, I don't know, can you see? Oh yeah, there we go. Reduces enemy max HP. These ones here that say increases after 10% of your troops are dead, you don't ideally want on your wall. They're good attack familiars, but for defense on your wall, they're not that good. They call them the stacking familiars. So I'm not using the stacking familiars. I'm using ones that reduce the enemy's HP, increase my HP, and so on. So I'm really not hoping not to lose troops. I'm getting my boost from the outset of the battle. So it's quite important that you can usually consult with guild members that are in the know about what should be on your wall, but you need to have heroes stationed on your wall, and later on, when you've got them, battle familiars. Then this building over here is obviously your hero stages. You begin quite early with that. Later on, you will primarily be using it to sweep for speeds, because your free-to-play heroes become maxed at a point. And then you're really going to be looking to sweep for 10 and 15 minute speeds, because why not? It's free speeds. Then we've got this, which also begins right at the beginning, and that is the Verge Way, and well worth it for the boosts. You collect your cards to improve your battle pieces for this sort of tower defense feature. Hit challenge when you want to play it, and you get kind of boosts. You get boosts. Oh, come on, all cards. There we are. You get boosts depending on the card, turf boosts here, and each one is a small turf boost, but in the end it kind of adds up, so good thing. Right, let's go on. This here is your watchtower, and you're probably not going to interact much directly with it, but it helps you to see what's coming at you if you're attacked. And then what happens is, right here in the top right of your screen, a watchtower icon appears. And if you tap on that, you can see what is attacking you, who is attacking you, what they've got, what heroes they're sending, what troops they're sending. And you only have a couple of seconds to see that. But if you can get a good look at it and counter it, then you've got a better chance of withstanding an attack. So your watchtower is quite important. You won't actually work on the building, you'll probably be working on the alert that appears. And then this here is basically, wow, I haven't been in here for a long time. This is where your resources that are in your turf get stored. And if somebody were to attack me when I've got a lot of resources, that vault storage is what I would be able to retain after the attack, and everything else would get taken away. But yeah, not vitally important, to be honest. It's there. It's there. When you're a very young castle, you're not shielding, it can be quite nice to have that little bit of resources that you rescue. And in fact, what we usually used to do back in the day when we weren't shielding to save gems was we would have a guild bank, and we'd send everything that's over your vault to the guild bank so that you don't present a cute target for taking resources away. Cargo ship, that is a nice thing. You trade your resources for resources that are there and items that are there, and they're usually pretty good. Have I missed anything? No, I have not. Oh, shelter. Well, there. Shelter I don't use, except for getting daily points. But, you know, as a beginner, you can shelter for 12 hours there. If you've got a lot of troops and you're trying to defend, you don't want to be in shelter. You do not want to drop shield with your leader in shelter. And the reason for that is that your leader's skills and your gear and all of that stuff, if your leader isn't deployed in battle, you don't get the benefit. So yeah, I don't use it anymore, but I did in the beginning. Very important building early on. Right, what else have we got here? Okay, now we're moving to a different area of your turf. This is a place to get free gems. And we do like free gems, but unfortunately I'm 17th in Colo at the moment, which means that I'm doing rather too well to find easy targets. This guy I can't beat, I don't think. He's got a lot of pay heroes. I don't know what to do with that combination. This one, yeah, I'll probably lose. So yeah, what's this guy got? I don't know if I can beat him, but I can try. Let's see. The reason why you rank up in Colo is to get free gems. And I like to say watch the battles, but I don't always practice what I preach, do I? Okay, let's give it a shot and just see. I've got a healer, he hasn't got a healer. It's a potential advantage, but also only a potential one. Let's see how that goes. Oh, I lost. Well, I'm 17th in Colosseum in the kingdom, so I'm not crying. So, and again, you can always click the information button to see what happens. You fight in the Colosseum, nobody gets hurt, it's not a problem. But as you rank, these are the rewards that you will get every 3 hours. You will never stay in rank 1 for very long. Somebody's going to knock you down. Some people maybe do. I don't know. I like to be in the top 100. So yeah, you know, I'm getting a fair amount of gems every 3 hours, and it really adds up after a few days. I cleared today, I think. But yeah, I mean, there's 860 free gems from fighting in Colosseum. Worth doing. We can talk about constellations and other details about Colosseum later. But it's a place to make free gems. We'll talk about the principles of that in another video. Then here we've got your you've got your academy, which is very important. You need it for your research. Research is very important. Most important research: military, monster hunt, familiars. That is your most important place to start. After that, yeah, there's some nice things on most of the other trees. The only trees that I would tell you, we call them trees because they are like trees. It's like branches and branches of them. This I wouldn't bother with. You know, early on I didn't know, so I used all this stuff, and it was a waste of time. I actually wish I didn't have a wall at all. I don't like walls. I really, really don't. Because you've got to repair them. Jolly pain. and they're not very useful. People just walk through them. Even I walk through them. That, by the way, shows my familiars ripened. And look at that. I got 1,000 and a 10,000. Oh, that's nice. Holy stars. And 1,200 free gems. And that is from my familiars that appear on the right-hand side of the screen. And I'm so automated on that. I see it and I'm in there because that's free stuff. Then over here is your workshop, and do be careful, you don't want to upgrade everything here. You can see I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm not upgrading at the moment because I'm waiting to upgrade other things that I think are more important, and so I'm just leaving them. They can yell at me all they want and give me exclamation marks. Another thing that you've got here is your jewel fusion, where you can make your jewels stronger. You don't want to put jewels in gear before they blue, because you've got to take them out again. So I always say, don't put them in before they blue. They're not much use before they blue. And the only jewels you're really interested in these ones at the bottom, your attack jewels. Some of the monster jewels here at the top also give attack and HP, and that's fine, go for them. But attack and HP is all you really want in your jewels. And there's a lot of useless jewels in this game. Yeah, a lot. Now here's where you can look at different types of equipment and plan your equipment lineup. Or you can decide, I want a better accessory. What can I get? Yeah, it's a place to look at stuff and maybe upgrade stuff. But be very careful what you upgrade. Very rare materials that you do not want to waste there. This building you get on the tier 5 tree, so it's not very important for you, but it's how you would make tier 5 troops if you ever have them. I probably will never. We shall see. Then over here we've got embassy. Okay. Allows me to deploy or hold allied troops. You see, I never use this. I just do it anyway. But basically what it is if I'm attacked, my friends can send me reinforcements, and they go into the embassy, and they will come out and fight for me when I'm attacked. There are two ways to send troops. You can garrison, but that means that your march alone, and the garrison goes there, just under the wall. You'll see a little tent when somebody's garrisoned you. That means that army is in front of the wall. If you get attacked, it has to take the full attack before your army even gets to fight. And that's not always a good place to be. So normally the way you would help a friend, unless you're super, super strong, would be to reinforce. And you would do that by basically sending reinforcements to their castle. And theoretically, that's where they live, in that building. Your battle hall is where you rally things. So you rally darkness, and you do rally attacks on other castles. Then theoretically this is where your stuff goes. The size of your battle hall determines how many troops you can take. And then another interesting part of it is, it's battalions, which are kind of like instant sets. Gosh, I'm not even sure what I made this one for. I never use it. I might as well change that. Now this one is one I use quite a lot if I'm attacking, because it gives me my familiars, it gives me my heroes. I'm doing a ranged blast, and then plus it gives me a little meat shield. But I also need to update these because I would like to put just a sprinkling of other troops in there to hold my formations. I need to work on that. But yeah, you can set instant garrisons, battalions that you can use for different reasons and that help you to do things faster. When you're fighting especially, can be jolly useful. Okay, what else we got? Prison and altar. Prison, this is where your prisoners stay when you keep them, and they have to stay there until they get right before you can execute them. Not much point in even holding a prisoner before you have prison 25 and altar 25. There's your altar, that's where you execute your prisoners. And here you get a very nice boost. If you have killed another leader, and here we are at level 25, and you can see that if I kill somebody else's leader, I'm getting extra army attack defense I'm not interested in, and HP. So 38% across the board. Very, very nice boost. I usually like to have one of those active. I think mine just expired. Alright. Prison, Altar, Battle Hall. And of course those three are the vital buildings to get up to level 25 if you want to get tier 4 troops. So you have to save gems for that. Once you've got Academy 25, you can start using your gems on other things. Okay, this is a very important building. You get free stuff here every day. Artifacts are very important. I'm still trying to work them out, but at the moment I think it's only really worth upgrading the gold ones. And I'm also again going for the things that matter most to me, which are attack, HP. That's the main thing to me. That's what I'm primarily interested in. And I prefer the ones where it's, not in battle fury, when I'm just sort of sitting around. Because, yeah, I'll hurt people worse when they attack me, I suppose. But they're probably spending money on that, so they'll probably do it to me even more. Never mind. But it's very, very important. They're big boosts in here, huge boosts. I mean, you just look at this one that I've been working on. It's already giving me 7.4% infantry attack. And then 3% infantry max HP. That's just one item. And this is purely passive boosts. I just have to own it, that's all. So you want to click on that every day and collect your free stuff. I do like, going back there. I do like to save up the tokens here in the top corner. Top left corner, 3,450 of them. I made a boo-boo and used some of them this morning by accident. But yeah, if you've got 20,000 of them, there's a very good Guildfest quest for 200 points, which we all like. So it's kind of worth saving that for Guildfest. Speeds one normally saves for Guildfest as well. Then over here's your Labyrinth. Labyrinth I mainly play during Guildfest, again, because you get points there, and I usually play it when it's not Frostwing. This guy, Frostwing, does not give you very good rewards. So you can see what it's giving you there. And the other monsters all give materials which could potentially, in the long run, be good for your gear, particularly your war gear, and also your growth gear. But yeah, this is just giving really a lot of gold. It's not my favorite. But yeah, that's Labyrinth for you. And you need Holy Stars for that, and you need to save your Holy Stars for Guildfest. Ha! And over here we have Tycoon. Tycoon's a bit expensive to play, but it's 60k gems, 60,000 gems for 100 tokens. So it's a lot of gems. Also, I don't like this particular Kingdom Tycoon setup. It's giving materials primarily towards familiar gear, and I prefer a setup that's giving me materials for war gear. It does give champion chests and things like that, but if you're free to play, you're never going to have decent champion gear anyway, so it's not that important. Only thing I really like here, I suppose, is embers, but look at that one silver ember. Oh, yay. Okay. I would normally do that when there's some other monster in there, and the same with the Colosseum, the Labyrinth. So that's Labyrinth and Tycoon. Both of them hotspots for Guildfest, when you have to make points for your guild. Okay, now we're finally on to, nearly there, on Familiar Turf. This building is very important, and I see I have 17 hours left. And after 17 hours, I'll get a payout of 92,000 gems. But of that 92,000, I'm probably going to reinvest a full 45,000 so that I can get 92,000 in the next 30 days. So, you keep this running. You just keep it running. You claim your gems, you refill it, and you score a bit every time. It's quite a good source of gems, by the way. Okay, so now we're down to our Familiar Turf. And each of these buildings also has a function. Again, you can click on the eye to see anima is something that you need in order to merge pacts and so on. So you need to have some of these buildings. The gym is where you train your familiars so that you can increase their level. And yeah, I've kind of maxed out my level on all my free familiars. So I'm doing my pay familiars now, but I won't be able to get them to elder in any hurry. Still, you can get quite good boosts off of them even without them being elder. This is where you can see all your familiars. Level 60 purple, that's as big as they get. Some of them aren't level 60 purple, but that's because they either pay familiars, like Frostwing, Huey, Harps, Gargantua, Queen Bee, or they're not very useful familiars. Like, for example, Tempest here is not very useful. I haven't bothered with him. I might do him at some point just for the heck of it. And then, right, we've done the gym. Oh, and this is the tower. This is the tower. We've done the gym, this is the tower, the spire, and this is where you merge your different pacts. And you can see by tapping, see? Oh, right, you tap there. You can see what kind of materials you might win when you have finished merging your pacts. I'm busy merging Pact 4 at the moment. A new player is going to start with Pact 1A and 1B. Good things in both of them, but you can be a bit selective and concentrate on the ones that do you real good and not bother about others. Then you open Pact 2 and you get Pact 2A and 2B. You get Pact 3. Pact 4 is a long haul thing, but you eventually get there. And it's got some really, really awesome familiars, including one that gives you free tier 4 troops every third day or so. So a very important part of your turf, because it also controls your familiar battles. If we can just go here, let's take a look at a familiar. I'm going to look at one that gives me something I like. Let's go to Trickstar over here, and there's the army talent. The army talent is long shot, and I love this. Very nice for attack. When 10% of my range have fallen, out it comes and gives me a massive boost, 100% attack boost, which is really great. And they're the skills that it's got, and they all max because they're also all nice. Research speed we all love. Ranged attack, oh yes. And then free lucky stars to use in the labyrinth, which everybody likes. So that's just an example of why this is so important. Not all of these familiars are equally useful, but there are specific ones that are definitely worth working on, and in the course of time they eventually end up all maxed anyway. So that's around about it, I think, for all the buildings in your turf.